My name is Rhapsody and welcome to Monster Train 2. That's not the demo of Monster Train 2, by the by, the release of Monster Train 2, which I've been waiting for ever since the demo, which suddenly came out of nowhere. Thankfully saving me a lot of time in anticipation of this. Now, I have done, as I said, the demo, so I am familiar with the first two classes that we're going to be playing as, the first two clans that we're going to be playing as. But I am still going to take a little bit longer with this episode to tutorialize the mechanics a little bit, to go along with how the way the game is going to present the tutorial of its own mechanics just a little bit more, so that if you aren't familiar with Monster Train, or if you're passingly familiar with Monster Train, or in general, roguelike deck builders, that you might be able to grasp what we're putting down here. Let's get that global volume just very slightly lower than it currently is. Maybe you can stay at 70 and maybe the music goes down to maybe 80. Good. And let us depart. From Shiny Shoe and Big Dev, the forces of hell. Big Dev? Big fan. Sorry. Oh, I remember the Hellhorn Prince. Emboldened by their victory, Hell's champions take the fight to heaven. Ooh. Just not making it. New titans emerge from the outer realms to reshape heaven and hell. New champions must arise to fight them. That's Phoenix. There's Spell. Yeah. Oh, it's not going to show any of the other champions. Good, because I don't know them yet. All aboard. The train is back. Oh, music for this game has always been so hype. Onwards to heaven. Monster Train 2. Let's go. Now this will immediately launch us into our first run. Now I should say, by the by, this first run is actually the hardest run in a weird way. Obviously, partly because you don't necessarily know all the mechanics, enemies, whatever, right? Like, ignoring that part, if we immediately lost this run and started a new run, we would be offered a opening artifact as well as an opening upgrade for our champion. However, in the very first run you do, you don't have either. So this one is going to be a little bit tougher than a no Covenant run usually would be. That said, let's take this into the Heaven's Gate. Oh, actually, sorry, just before we get there. Our deck. We have Bell as our champion, who has Multi-Strike 1, obviously attacks an additional time per turn, and Revenge, which triggers when being hit of apply Valor 1 to friendly units. Valor giving additional damage per stack, and you can raise armor to the stack count if that unit is in the front after combat. Then we have 5 copies of Firestarter, which deal 1 damage and apply Pyogel 2. Pyogel just meaning increase incoming damage per stack of Pyogel. So the first one would do 1 damage and 2 Pyogel. The second one would do 3 damage and another 2 Pyogel. 5, another 2 Pyogel. Then we have Just Cause. Advance. Move the unit that you target with this to the front of the floor, as well as apply 2 Valor. And then we got a couple of beefy boys here in the Shield Stewards. And then some Spear Stewards behind them with less health and more damage. Let's head into our first run. Well, our first run. We're in our first run. Let's head into our first fight in this run. Dominion's Preservation. Healers blessed by Dominion bolster their allies, attack in large bursts to achieve victory. Protect your pyre. This is your pyre. If it takes too much damage from enemy attacks, your run is over. This is the deployment phase. Each battle begins with the deployment phase. You will draw your champion and any unit card with a blue banner on it. That's very important for consistency of your opening. After you end this turn, enemies will invade. Summon units to defend your train. You can play each unit card once per battle. So, knowing that Fel has this Valor that they're going to want to collect over the course of the fight, I feel like I should put them on the very top. Each floor of the train has limited capacity. The amount of space a unit will take is indicated by the number of pips on its card. We can see Fel had 2 next to its name. We also have the Shield Steward over here as well, with 3. I'll put 1 Shield Steward on each of these floors. Enemies have boarded your train! Enemies arrive at the lowest level and move up 1 level each turn. If they reach the top, they will attack the pyre. Let's pop a Spear Steward behind our Shield Steward, who is going to only take 4 damage to the enemy, then deal 8 back, the Spear Steward following up with another 14, but the Ominous Acolyte in the back line will then heal by 15 all of the units on the floor, or rather all of the enemies on the floor. So in order to prevent that, I'll just start a fire on you, pop another Spear Steward on the next line up. Next line up? Actually, you should probably be behind Fel. That's a turn. 2 more waves remaining coming in. I'll use Firestarter again for the same reason. And then I'm going to use Just Cause twice on Fel up here in order to get 4 Valor, which at the end of turn, because Fel is at the front, will give them 4 stacks of armor as well. Ooh, yes. Couple more stacks of Valor there, getting up to 10 stacks of Valor on Fel. Perfect. Defeat the boss to win the battle. His relentless ability means that combat in this room will continue until you or he is defeated. So let's get rid of your healer. Get some additional damage here on the top line, and then wait. Give you a little bit of Pyrogel as well. Perfect. And that one's already closed out, but I feel obliged to buff my unit as much as I possibly can before continuing. Battle 1! We get 1,000 points, as well as extra 10% modifier for a 1-turn boss rush. Realistically, I don't really care about the scores for a really, really long time. What I care about are the ones that are related to the run that we're going to be having, rather than our placement on a leaderboard afterwards. So the spoils are 50 gold, a clan pack, and an allied clan pack. So the clan pack is going to be from... where are we? There we are. The primary clan, rather, that we're playing, Banished. And the allied clan is going to be Pyreborn here. Cool. So we could take Penitent Bloodsuit, which is a equipment item. I happen to know from having played the demo that equipment items can be equipped on any character, and when that character dies, are returned to your deck. This one says Penitent's Bloodsuit Shift. That is triggered when a unit moves, so we have the ability to make units move in our base deck with the Just Cause. Take 30 damage when you move. Can be equipped on enemy units. There's also Selfless Sacrifice here, 2 mana to consume, or 2 energy rather in this game's parlance. 2 energy, Selfless Sacrifice, Consume, which means it'll be removed from your deck after you play it. Advance, again, move the unit to the front of the floor, and apply Damage Shield 2, which nullifies the next 2 sources of damage. And then the final is Cleave. 2 energy in order to deal damage to enemy units equal to the damage of the front friendly unit, especially considering I'm heavily incentivized to just buff Fel a bunch of times. I really think the Cleave makes a lot of sense here. Then we have Lava Flow, a 0-cost consume card that applies PyHL 4 to all enemy units on the floor. Then Flicker, a 0-cost non-consume that deals 1 damage to enemy units. So no real damage to any unit, unless you've already attacked some Pyrogel on them. And then finally, Pyre Cask. 1 mana to consume, apply 10 Pyrogel to a single unit. I'm going to take this Flicker, because the idea of a 0 cost that deals 1 damage to enemy units, you can upgrade that card pretty easily, in fact. Pyreborn Banner next to a Merchant of Steel, so I could get a Pyreborn unit and forge my units to gain new powers, or I could get a Banished unit and forge my spells. So speaking of forging our spells, I did just pick up a 0 cost that does damage to all enemy units. So if I can increase the magic power of this, it's going to be really, really useful. Next area is a Merchant of Arms against a Banished Banner and a Merchant of Steel. So part of the value of going to the right side, each time you finish a fight, by the way, you'll get to select a track, left or right. You get both of the benefits on the side, or all 3 of the benefits as the case may be, on the side that you've chosen, but you forego the benefits from the other. So I have to choose Merchant of Magic and Banished Banner, or Pyreborn Banner and Merchant of Steel. However, I know in the next area, I've got Pyre Remains as half of the value from going on the right side. Pyre Remains being healing the health of the Pyre. But if I manage my fights correctly, I'm not going to need that at all. So I get more value out of going left on the next day, which gives me a Banished unit and a Merchant of Steel. So because I got a Merchant of Steel on the next area, I'll take the Merchant of Magic on this one. Oh wow. Surge Stone, upgrade a spell with 20 additional magic power as well as consume. There's Smolder Stone, upgrade a spell with 2 negative to its cost and gain consume. Stack Stone, upgrade a spell to do double stack, which is double the status effects applied by that card. And Keep Stone, one of my favorite ones, upgrade a spell to gain Holdover, which is when the spell is played, place it back on top of your deck. Oh, that's difficult, because I really like Holdover, but Holdover is only going to be good on Flicker if I've also upgraded its damage. But the only way to upgrade its damage right now is Surge Stone, which will give it Consume. I'm going to use Surge Stone to increase the damage of one of the Fire Starters, because I would happily remove those from the deck. And also now it's 1 mana, basically kill a backline enemy. There's also remove 2 from a cost as well as gain consume. I could theoretically put that on cleave, but I don't really feel like I actually benefit that much from doing it. We also have our choice of Banished Banner. Again, both of these are going to have the blue mana, so they're going to be drawn on the deployment phase. Steadfast Crusader. 1 mana for 5 damage and 30 health. Also has the ability Slam. Has a cooldown of 2, this ability. An ability is something that you can just trigger by clicking on the character when its preconditions are met. This has a cooldown of 2 and causes the character to advance. Deals damage to the front enemy unit equal to this unit's current HP and armor. And then there's also Battle Dancer. When you shift this unit, gain Valor 3. Shifting a unit to gain Valor 3, I mean, I do want a big tanky fellow. So Steadfast Crusader certainly has appeal, but I also really need damage. Give me Steadfast Crusader first, I'll sort out my damage later. I've got to keep some money so that I can go to the Merchant of Steel on the next area and use it effectively, so I'm sorry Merchant of Magic, you didn't really give me the benefit I wanted, but it was good enough. The Knights of Entropy. Slow-moving soldiers, blessed of Entropy, will deal heavy damage if they reach the front. Okie dokie. Again, fell on the top line, so I have as much time as possible to buff them before I need to use them. Steadfast Crusader. I feel like you should go on the second line. Shield Steward on the bottom. And another Shield Steward on the midline as well. Grant. Combat previews. The preview number will show the amount of damage each unit will take during the next combat phase. A red X means the unit will be defeated. And I've summoned a unit with an activated ability. I can click on it to activate its ability, and they'll go on cooldown for a couple of turns after usage. Savvy? So, here's the important thing that the game didn't bring my attention to here, I guess because other tooltips were coming up. The Sloven Knight has an ability called Vanguard. Applies when the unit is at the front of the floor and gives it 8 additional damage. So I could take down both of the Savage Spearmen in front of the Sloven Knight, and then it will just gain 8 damage and still hit me for 10. So I can take 10 damage, or I can take 12. Realistically, though, I still do want to use Cleave here. It's still better. And also it reveals the Sloven Knight to be able to be hit by the Slam next turn. Steadfast Crusader will just beat you with a Slam. I basically have to buff you every single time when possible, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to pick off the correct enemy units. I'll take out the backliner here. Got a brief respite where I'm actually going to be able to play my Spear Stewards, as of yet unplayed. Throw a Fire Starter and a Flicker out. I don't think either of my bottom lines are going to give much trouble to Elabor the Wall. Elabor the Wall has an action, triggers at the start of their turn, gain 5 armor. Fair enough. Ooh, Cleave. Cleave clears both of your units immediately. I still need to focus on pumping up our Valor, because that's how we'll defeat this guy. Okay, yeah, so your action for 5 armor is happening every combat round. That's kind of annoying. Steadfast Crusader, deal 10 damage. With your Slam, we'll throw a couple Just Causes on the top line. Alright, we should be good. And indeed we are. Whoa! Right, it just showed me that the Consume pile contains all of the cards that can only be played once, obviously the unit cards, as well as the cards that have been consumed. I accidentally clicked through that tooltip. Apologies, I am not intending to do that, at the very least here for the first run. We'll end our turn. I'm gonna slow down the combat resolution to only fast rather than super fast, apologies. Grab 50 coins, and we have another Selfless Sacrifice offered, as well as Upbeat Warbler. Upbeat Warbler has Enchant as a bonus. Other units on the floor gain this. Other units on the same floor as the Upbeat Warbler gain a bonus due to the Enchant, and the bonus is Quick, which means they would attack the enemies before the enemies attack them. And Windblade. Windblade causes Shift, gain Valor 1, Resolve, trigger Shift. So Resolve is at end of combat. So at end of combat, trigger all of the benefits that this unit that is equipped with a Windblade would get from shifting. We can see how that's particularly valuable in a world where we might end up with another banished unit in a second. And the last banished unit that we saw was particularly keen on shifting. Give me that Windblade. Oh, this is great. We've also got an equipment here from the Pyreborn. Lava Armor, 1 energy for 10 additional health to the unit, and Revenge, again, triggers when being hit, apply 3 Pyre Gel to the attacker. So this would increase the health of the Steadfast Crusader, giving them the ability to slam for some more damage as well. Golden Touch, 2 energy to deal 5 damage, and on Slay, triggers after dealing a killing blow. Gain 1 Dragon Sword. Dragon Sword I haven't gotten to talk about yet. Dragon Sword is a resource that you can build in battle and loot outside of battle for valuable rewards, but you're also incentivized to hold on to it rather than constantly plunder that resource, because if you can build it up to a very large Dragon's Horde, you get pretty huge effects out of it. And Snotty Whelp. 1 energy to get Gelly Sneeze as an ability on a 4/1 unit. And Gelly Sneeze's ability is cooldown 2, deal 1 damage, then, unfortunately, apply Pyre Gel 10 to the front enemy unit. I'm gonna take Golden Touch here and see what I can do with that. Additional value, please. So we got the Celestial Alcove on both sides here. Something surprising can be found within the Celestial Fog. Okay, so sometimes, because this is an event space, sometimes events give you units, and then I would want to take that unit to the Merchant of Steel and upgrade them afterwards. But also, sometimes it takes a unit that you have and does something to it, in which case I would want to have my units upgraded before I go there. I can't necessarily tell the right order, so I'm just going to get my unit first. Steadfast Crusader and Firebrand, who has Revenge, Gain Valor 2. I will say Firebrand would be like a good head of another line for us. It's just... It's not going to trigger anything additional with Windblade, which I shouldn't really be taking issue with this early, but still. I'd prefer if you did. Heartstone, upgrade a unit with 20 additional health. That seems ideal for our Steadfast Crusader, who now does 20 additional damage with that slam. There's also Titanstone, upgrade a unit with Titanite, incoming damage is reduced by half. If I gave that to Firebrand, I'd be able to keep them in the front line to trigger their Valor, or trigger their Revenge many, many, many more times. So you take that Titanite, and now with only 5 coins remaining to our name, we'll check out the Celestial Alcove. The pungent smell of rot and chemicals hits your senses as strong as any strike. From behind a soft glow, from illuminated formaldehyde tubes, a plague doctor slithers forward.
Perhaps a banished such as yourself might be better by letting me tinker a little with your experiment.
Do you want to partake in an experiment? Graft a random equipment onto a unit, or graft an equipment from a deck, our deck, onto a unit. Now, I don't really have someone who really wants to hold Windblade. So you know what? Let me take a random equipment on someone. Give it to Firebrand. You choose to graft something onto one of your units. The Plague Doctor lets out a maniacal laugh.
Very good, very good. Come by again sometime. I have more experiments I'd like to conduct.
What have you done to our friend? What have you done to him? The Firebrand is now an organ harvester. It gives them 10 additional damage, and when they kill an enemy, they gain Reanimate 1. Reanimate says when a unit with Reanimate is killed, it will be revived at 1 health and lose a stack of Reanimate. Cool. Just got that by default now. Archaon, the Scion of Savagery. Archaon draws power from the defeat of his forces, becoming enraged at their failure. So this is our first boss of the run. We can see the 3 boss sigils up here. Very first, Archaon, who has Furious Frenzy as an ability. Archaon gains Rage 2 on Siphon, Siphon being the keyword for when an enemy unit dies on the floor. Okie dokie. I mean, Firebrand wants to be the front of their own line, so does Fel, so does Steadfast Crusader. So I think Firebrand on bottom line, Steadfast on second, Fel on top. And then one of you is going to want a Shield Steward with you. I feel like that could be the bottom line. Archaon is the strongest boss you've faced yet. He moves between floors freely, but can be attacked if you clear out other enemies on that floor. So Archaon every round is going to attack for 7 to one of my lines. Thankfully we have big, beefy boys at the front of each of them. Giant beef. What are we going to do with this one, though? So the Firebrand is currently actually not taking any damage to these enemies. They deal damage, and then the Firebrand gains health back. Commensurate to the damage taken, basically. I should probably use Firestarter. Ooh. I'm going to use it on the bottom line. Both of these enemies are going to be cleared out. We still get both of the revenge triggers on Firebrand, but we also get a slay trigger so that we are ready to reanimate if need be. And then just goals on the top line. So we can see now that Firebrand is ready to reanimate. Watch out for triggers! This unit has a trigger. Triggers activate when specific events or turn phases happen. So this is at Resolve, which triggers after combat. The enemy Flagellant, a 390 unit, 3 damage, 90 health, will gain 4 damage, but will gain 4 damage, but take 20 damage. So it'll be a 770 after that. Yep. Spear Steward on another floor, please. Oh, man, this Firebrand is really, really, really tanky. The fact that the Valor is both what we get when we hit and also how we heal back up our armor. Very, very useful. Let's drop 2 more Just Cause on the top line. I can throw a Flicker here. There's no reason not to. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Archeon ends up dying on the bottom line. You've drawn an equipment card. These cards can be attached to any unit inside the train. Once attached, they can improve the unit in various ways. Only one equipment can be attached to a unit at a time. I'll give that to our top line. Also, Golden Touch. I feel compelled to use this every time it's available, so I'm going to slay a unit in order to get 1 Dragon Horde. These. Definitely gonna need a Spear Steward on that top line. Angel Crusader helps us wipe out that midline as well. Perfect. Only 2 waves remaining to be spawned. Yeah, I would entirely be unsurprised if our bottom line manages to take out Archeon by itself. Oh, Golden Touch is back. And there's a unit I can take out with it. I know what to do with these 2 pieces. The square block goes in the square hole. Unfortunately, we gave a bunch of rage to Archeon on the bottom line by killing 2 units in front of him. But it did not change anything. We are going to be winning. On this bottom line, courtesy of Just Firebrand. Thank you kindly, buddy. You're doing grand. We also managed to make time to play a pretty expensive spell to kill 2 units in this fight. That is to say, the downside of Golden Touch is obviously that it's very expensive in terms of energy costs. But the upside, if you can swing it, the upside's going to be worth it. So 3-turn boss rush, bunch of points there, 150 gold as well as a rare pack with rare cards, a unit draft for a primary or allied clan unit here, a major enhancement, so these are the things you get for beating the first 2 of the bosses, and that is to say, we'll look at that in just a second, and also Dragon's Horde is collected here. So our rare draft, we have Sanctuary, 3 energy to consume, apply damage shield 2 to friendly units, so that's every friendly unit on the floor. There's also the Spike of the Banished, an X cost, which consumes to apply 3x Valor. So you spend all of your active mana on this, and then it gives you 3 times that in Valor on a unit. And then finally the Soldier of Fortune. Consume, 0 cost. Draw a unit. If you have 30 gold, spend it to apply plus 30 damage, 15 Avarice, and 15 armor. Avarice says when a unit with Avarice deals unblocked damage, gain gold equal to the stacks of Avarice. So if I had a way, realistically, I can use Soldier of Fortune very easily to just draw a Spear Steward out of the deck, and it will give me more money consistently than it costs to cast. Hell yeah. Firebrand is back. There's also Miser here, a 1 space 1 energy character who has Avarice 10. Unfortunately, you're up against the Battle Dancer, who has 1 mana, shift, gain 3 Valor, which is even better when I give you a Windblade and you trigger that shift at the end of every single turn. Come with me, Battle Dancer. Hell's Flame is 1 additional energy per turn, as well as an energy... Oh, it's not even energy in this game, it's called Ember! I forgot! I'm so sorry. It's mana in one game, it's energy in another, it's power in one, it's Ember here. I recall now. Your Pyre also gains 30 additional damage and 20 additional health. That's on all of them. The real difference between them is 1 energy per turn, draw an additional card per turn, or 2 additional capacity per floor. I love draw. Gotta tell ya, it is pretty much my favorite thing to do. Dragon's Hoard. The Pyreborn clan can earn Dragon's Hoard. Rewards grow as you collect more. You can loot it now or save it for later, and you can collect from any time during the map. So, collecting 2 loot here would give me 25 gold. If I can wait all the way until we get to 8 though, I'll get a artifact, 1 of 3 minor Pyreborn artifacts, and 75 gold, so 2 artifacts. I can hold on. Let's save. Ooh, this is nasty. Okay. The left side has Pyre Remains, restore 30 Pyre health, as well as an Empyrean Well for duplicating any card except for your champion, and a Merchant of Magic, forging our spells to gain new powers. And the other side has Forgotten Boons, just 100 gold straight up, an event in the Celestial Alcove, as well as a Merchant of Trinkets, offers a random selection of artifacts. Now I know artifacts in this game cost probably between like 150 to 250 depending on their rarity, so if I get that Forgotten Boons, I'll pretty much be able to buy anything from the Merchant of Trinkets that I want. And that's the way I'm gonna go. The reason this is a little bit of a hard decision is I really like taking advantage of the first Empyrean Well in Monster Train, because if you invest a lot into making one card very, very good, and then dupe that card, whew, baby, we got a stew going. I'm gonna head over to this direction. We also get Lightforge to upgrade our champion. Yeah, I was wondering what I'd do if this happened. So Fel, one of the upgrades that Fel can get is Unchained, which gives them the additional ability, on shift, gain 1 Valor permanently. I know I just took someone who's going to be wearing our Windblade, but permanently? The text permanently is very important. You can't ignore the text permanently. Got boons, gain 100 gold. I should probably go to the alcove before I go to the Merchant of Trinkets, just in case you happen to give me money. The legendary dog made of bone bounces at you, its bone tail rattling together in excited wag. An elusive creature that can cross dimensions as easily as he can catch a cursed stick, you're blessed by his appearance. What? However, life as a mythical, adorable puppy is a lonely one, and the dog made of bone's tail droops as his little bony expression seems sad. Will you stop the bone dog and give him some kindness? We could pet the bone dog, giving us a artifact that says the first time the pyre reaches 0 health, restore the pyre to 25% health. This can only trigger once. Or we could adopt the bone dog. A 0-cost creature, only 1 space. Celebrate, which triggers after defeating a boss. Your pyre permanently gains 10 additional health. I can't not. You invite the bone dog onto the train. It wags its tail in joy. Come along, little friend. We have a heaven to ransack. And the Merchant of Trinkets is offering us... Ooh. The versatile Ember Staff. When you play 3 different kinds of card in a turn, draw 1 coin... draw 1 card, rather, and gain 1 energy. Different types of cards. We have Champion, Angel, Dog, Spell, Steward, and Equipment. We don't have that many different types. That'll trigger for us like once or twice a fight. Dante's Footstool. On deployment phase, draw a room card from your deck. We don't have any room cards in our deck just yet, but reduces cost to 0. That would actually be a really good way to then choose a very expensive room card, knowing that I will get it for free. There's also Lightstone Casing. Spells get an extra upgrade slot. I'm going to take the Versatile Amber Staff because I think it's really valuable, and I'm also going to remove 2 cards from our deck. We have the opportunity to purge a... I will purge 2 copies of Firestarter, actually, because it's much more important now that our champion Fel gets permanent Valor. Every time they move, it's much more important that I use these Just Causes to cause movements consistently. Let's head into battle. Undergo trials for greater risk and reward. Activating the trial will make this battle more difficult, but you'll earn an extra reward if you win. Pyre Dampener, -1 Ember per turn, but the reward is 150 extra gold. We're up against the Penance Seekers. They could not seek their own penance, so now they are doomed to bestow it on their enemies instead. Grant them the absolution they desire. I'm also going to bring our special attention to the... Oh, hang on. Oh, there we go. This backline unit, the Profane Supplicant, who has Resolve, trigger after combat, add a Discordant Toll card to the top of your draw pile. So this enemy is going to be adding Scourges to our deck. Cards that we draw that we don't want to have, that we have to play in order to prevent some negative effect. In this case, if we lead the Discordant Toll in our hand at the end of turn, we'll take 3 damage straight to the Pyre. So, is Pyre Dampener a problem? If I'm honest with you, not really. It will prevent me from playing Just Cause occasionally, but I don't really expect that to be too much of a problem for us. Oiki dokie. Give me a Firebrand on the bottom line, a Fel on the top line, a Battle Dancer behind Fel so that I have the ability to trigger shifts on that top line, and then I will end my go. So we played a champion unit, an angel unit, and another angel unit. Damn, if I played a shield steward, I'm pretty sure I would have gotten an energy and drawn a card from the Versatile Amber Staff. Oops. Unfortunately, the ability to rewind actions is only unlocked in the second run as well. I'm not really 100% certain for why that feature, the ability to rewind, is locked behind the first run, as well as the fact that they don't give you bonuses at the start of the run. I guess because you wouldn't really have the context to understand what the bonuses really do at that point in time. Golden Touch. I can take out the back line, preventing you from trashing my deck, which is going to be really important as well, because I would have to use one of my 2 energy, Ember, rather, every turn to get rid of the Scourge. Bone Dog! You can go in the very, very, very back line up there, buddy. Single flicker for a single damage, and we're on our way. Wait. I mean, first off, Windblade on Fel has to happen. So I don't have the ability to play Cleave, which means I just have to deal with that being the case. Which costs us a Discordant Toll. No! Oh boy. Soldier of Fortune could draw me a card that's really relevant. Oh, and it did. I think I'm going to take 3 damage to the Discordant Toll because I'll have the ability to use my Firestarter to take out the Collector in the back line, gaining 75 more gold. And that's just an amount that you don't want to turn down. Also, our Angel comes into play with 65 combined health and armor. Why don't you just slam that front units for it, buddy? Also, unfortunately, this Fallen Executioner on the top line is going to get to our Pyre and deal a decent amount of damage. Oh boy. Couple more discordant tolls for me to deal with. Oh boy. I really wish I could just play the golden touch. How greedy do I want to try and be? I think the answer is big greedy. Big greedy. I'll take 2 more discordant tolls. Certainly taking a lot of damage to that fire at the moment. But it's all in service of something. I mean, these discordant tolls really do need to be removed. So I've basically got a couple of free rounds right now to try and cause a bunch of shifts on the top line. Corin the Judge. On summon, triggers when they are played, descend all friendly units on this, to this floor and retreat. So if any other units were alive, they would be down here. Okay. Okay, that's kind of fun. Drop out a discordant toll. Yeah. And I'll just cause that top line. Again, causing shifts on that top line is really, really important because it is a permanent bonus that we are gaining from doing so. Thank you for reanimating multiple times, and because you reanimated multiple times, or rather, the thing that made you reanimate is a piece of equipment that I now get to hold for a bit, in case I want to use it. Drop its golden toll, steadfast, hit him with a flicker, and then again, we gotta make sure that we do our shifts. We gained a lot of money out of that unit. Oh boy. You know what? Should I put the Bone Dog at the front? I don't want to, but it saves us a lot of damage from this guy. Just have to sacrifice him just a little bit, but he'll be back, don't worry. We'll be safe and comfortable on the other side of this fight. We take 11 damage to Corin, and then clear him out. Yeah. So, I honestly don't think with an additional mana too much would have changed about that fight. We still would have taken a lot of damage. But, with this additional 150 gold, I think a lot will change for our run. We have a clan pack offering us Everlasting Light, 1 Ember to add 3 damage to a unit, as well as on strike, apply Valor 2 to friendly units. I mean, that's pretty good, but Fel is the person who would want that because of the multi-strike. No one else can really hold that reliably. Sanctuary, 3 mana, consume, apply damage shield 2 to friendly units. Honestly, it's good because it means the backline is behind Fel can stay healthy, including the Bone Dog, and then Begone. Retreat the front enemy unit, apply melee weakness 1 to enemy units. Give me that Sanctuary. Oh wow. Dragon's Breath. 3 Ember to apply Pyre Gel and deal 10 damage to all enemy units. I imagine in that order, so it'll be 20 damage to all enemy units. This is stuck up well. Has Expensive Taste. An ability with a cooldown of 3, apply Avarice 2 to friendly units, cool. And Sacrificial Chamber, gain 10 gold when a unit dies. I'm not especially good at knowing when a unit is going to die on a floor. Give me Dragon Breath. So we could loot right now for one of the 3 minor Fireborn artifacts as well as some gold. I'll be saving again. I want to loot that at 8. Ooh. Okay, both of these sides are very appealing. Merchant of Arms offers random equipment and rooms and ways to improve them. Also, Hersel's Horde just gives us an artifact and then Fireball Banner for a Fireborn unit. Or we could remove 2 more cards from the deck. Realistically, we could remove 2 more Fire Starters from the deck. And we could also encounter a Merchant of Magic and the Celestial Fog. I'm going to go with this direction. Largely because I really, really, really want to upgrade the damage of my Flicker. I really want to downgrade the cost of the Golden Touch. And if I get additional downgrades of cost, all of these Just Causes should definitely get one. And I'll do that before we go to the event just in case. Unstable, you can remove 2 Fire Starters from my deck. Well, actually, hang on. I don't have room for all of the Shield Stewards at the moment. 1 Shield Steward and 1 Fire Starter, please. Twinstone, upgrade a spell to gain Spell Chain. When played, a copy of this card will be added to your hand, and the copy has Ephemeral, which means it's purged from deck when it is played, discarded, or at end of turn. I can lower the cost of Golden Touch. I could use Surge Stone to give 20 additional damage to something like Flicker. Then it becomes the only time I ever use that Flicker, basically. Keepstone, upgrade a spell to gain Holdover. I really like the idea of having Holdover on a good spell, but right now, what I'm really thinking of is Holdover on Just Cause and -1 cost on it. Every turn I just play it once. That actually feels really, really effective. Card gains Spell Chain. Ooh, Spell Chain on Soldier of Fortune? Draw multiple cards out of my deck that use it? Hell yeah. So I've got to make sure that I always go into battle already holding 60 gold. Upgrade as well with 20 additional magic power and consume. I mean, I do want to give that to something like the other Fire Starter right now, and I will. It really sounded like I wasn't going to do that, right? Purge a card from the deck. I could also reroll, see more choices here, and yeah, that's a great idea. Upgrade a spell to permanently remove consume. Now that would be funny if I had Soldier of Fortune draw out all of the cards in my deck. I don't think I should do that though. Upgrade a spell to have -2 cost and consume, and then I could remove consume. That's kind of fun. -1 to cost and intrinsic starts in the opening hand. I mean, that's also really good. Like, I either go Smoldering Stone and Eternal Stone, or I just... Oh, wow, there's actually a lot of things we could do here. Plus 10 magic power really feels like it's essential for the Flicker to make sense. Well, Golden Touch really wants that too. And then... Intrinsic in the opening hand, make one of those a Just Cause, please. -2 to spell cost and gain consume. Realistically, Cleave absolutely fits the bill for that. So does Dragon's Breath, unless I want to use it multiple times. But I've got to save my 60 gold. I just remembered that in time. The rail leads you along the path of the angel, a gravelstone path lined with angels forever frozen in stone. A few such statues still contain lingering essence. You could infuse this essence with one of your own. The price of power, however, might not be what you expect. Do you grant your forces the powers of heaven? A Wrath ability. Cooldown 3 causes an immediate attack for the unit that uses it. It's also Benevolence, cooldown of 3, restore friendly units to full health, and finally Courage, cooldown of 3, advance, restore to full health, and gain armor equal to the amount healed. Oh boy. Can a unit have more than one ability at the same time? I don't know. Ooh, I could give the... I think I do. Let's give Courage to the Firebrand. Oh, okay, so it is an ability and not eligible on the other unit with an ability, so you can't have two abilities at the same time. You've chosen the path of courage. As you continue down the path of the angel, you can't help but wonder who these angels once were. Alright, 60 gold, I'm ready to go ahead. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then 4 more boss battles until we make it into the Great Abyss. Let's go. Relentless zealots. Their strength grows from the defeat of others, even their own. Be wary of their fierce power. Stone of the Undying. The front non-boss enemy in each wave gains Reanimate 1. I'm fine with that. More units for me to kill. Deployment phase. Excuse me. What happened with my intrinsic? Oh, sorry. Intrinsic actually says starts in your first hand post deployment phase. That's not what I thought it said. That's okay. It's not really going to change too much, to be honest. Firebrand on bottom line, Fell on top line, Battle Dancer next to Fell, and Steadfast Crusader in the middle. That's going to be our standard array. Soldier of Fortune is ready here to draw the final 2 units in my deck, which are a Spear Steward and the Bone Dog. Well, get to it. Avarice 15 is going to be very... maybe I put the Bone Dog on the bottom line as well? In fact, yeah. We absolutely put the Bone Dog on the bottom line because then we can trigger Avarice more commonly. Unfortunately, Golden Touch does not have an enemy of only 5 health to target right now. Boo-hoo. Let's pop a little bit of Just Cause. Firestarter and Flicker. Firebrand, you do not need to advance just yet. Oh, hang on. Adamant Shieldbearer has an incant trigger. Triggers when I play a spell on the floor, and applies 2 sap to our units, which decreases their damage by 2. Yeah, I'm not going to want to play a second spell on that floor. Not if it can be avoided. Unfortunately, I only have 2 kinds of card in my hand, which is going to prevent me from using my versatile Ember Staff yet again. However, those 2 cards, pretty sick cards. Windblade, Just Cause, Just Cause, Just Cause. I wonder if my Steadfast Crusader should kill the Adamant Shieldbearer with the Slam ability, or if I wait for it next turn for the Harvest. Yeah, I wait for it next turn. I'm not certain our top line has enough damage to take out this enemy. But if it doesn't, it shouldn't be far. Okay, yeah, it's like 20 damage off. That's easily done. I'm going to use the Flicker here on the bottom line to take out 2 of the backline units. Gains me a little money. Unfortunately, I do have to get sapped. Yeah, Steadfast Angel takes care of the Ravenous Zealot? Ravenous, rather. Both of those units go down. I mean... I'm gonna intentionally hasten one of those. Perfect. Just enough damage to take care of the Ravenous Harlot. Harlot? Zealot! Sorry, on the top line. That's what you get for trying to speed read. Oh, Seraph! Ooh, Cleave would take care of this whole bottom line pretty quickly. And frankly, I feel compelled to do so. Now, I really want Battle Dancer to be in front during the end of at least one turn, because then they'll gain all of the armor up to the stacks of their Valor. If the Battle Dancer was in the backline constantly, all you would get from Valor would be damage. Whereas with one turn of you being at the front, now you are also very healthy. Oh, that Avarice on the bottom line. I spent my last 60 in order to summon the 2 units with Avarice. They've all given me 195 so far. Oh my god, I can even use Golden. Yes! Hell yeah. I was expecting not to be able to use Golden Touch basically at all this fight. Alrighty then, I want this bottom wave to be as healthy as possible and take as long as possible for the sake of the Avarice. Undying One, just Relentless Battle in Spike and has 8 Reanimate, got it. Adamant Shieldbreaker in the front is going to be a little annoying as well by sapping our units. I think I'm just going to heal you. The fight on this line will go for pretty long. The Undying One will be basically dead by the time it finishes, which actually gives me a little longer to get permanent Valor up here, so it's actually really good for us. I can throw this down to like normal resolution speed, but you'll see why I speed it up if I leave it here for a long time. I'll default to fast at the moment. All right, just a couple bit more movements here on this line. I mean, I lose score for letting the Relentless One go further up. It's fine. I don't care about losing score. Also, this enemy, I forgot, actually still has to reanimate 6 more times. But yeah, that's not going to be a problem at all. Also, I can use a Golden Touch on you. Boom. Thank you for another Horde. Incredible. That was 420 gold that we got just from Avarice. Also 75 and another 150 from the challenge we took on, a clan pack, allied pack, and we get to look at our Dragon Sword again. Benediction. For 3 energy, we could apply Valor 2 and Damage Shield 1 to friendly units. It's pretty expensive, but it is good. Shield of Whinge. For 2 energy, Ember, rather. Look, I'm occasionally going to say Ember, I'm occasionally going to say energy. I might even drop a mana or 2. It'll happen. I'm not going to get so caught up over correcting myself, though. 2 energy. 10 health added to the unit, and on revenge, deal damage to the attacker equal to this unit's health. That would make the, Firebrands, but you've already got your own Organ Harvester. That would make the Steadfast Crusader very beefy. And then Everlasting Light is back. I'm going to take the Shield of Whinge. The Wealthy Wealth. As Moneymaker. Cooldown 3, gains 7 coins for each Dragon Horde. Stuck Up Whelp is back, giving Avarice to friendly units, and then the Soldier of Fortune. Look, Soldier of Fortune has been really, really powerful for us so far. I just don't know if I need another one. Because the one that I have already triggers twice. I could see taking a Whelp maybe, so that I can fill out the Fell Battle Dancer line. Moneymaker literally just gets money for us. Stuck up well with expensive taste. It feels like you're not a great way. Especially considering I'm keeping my Dragon Sword. Yeah, I'll take Wealthy Wealth. A random artifact. Oh, wow. A random artifact. If I wait 2 more loot levels, I get a selection of 3 artifacts. I'll save it. Empyrean Well is available. Duplicate any card except for your champion, as well as a Merchant of Trinkets and a Pyre Remains for additional health that I absolutely do need. What would I do? There's certainly some play in trying to dupe something like the Just Cause, just so that I have a bunch of Valor triggers every turn. I wouldn't tell you that were a bad idea if you told me that's what you were gonna do. Merchant of Steel, certainly useful. Getting some additional upgrades to the Battle Dancer would be good, as well as the Steadfast Crusader. Take me over here, though. First off, heal me. Ooh, Crown of the Eternal at the start of turn. Fully healed champions. I think not. Fel already gains 37 armor at the end of the first turn. So Fel is very seldom actually having their own health tested. It's usually the armor. There's the Sparkling Catalyst. When a unit without Pyogel gains Pyogel, it gains 6 additional stacks. Yeah, it's fine if I only intend to use a little bit of Pyogel, which is how I deal with it at the moment, but both of these exhaust from the deck. Am I consuming? And there's the Emot Tome. Create an ephemeral copy of the first spell you play each turn. Absolutely. Why? Because that's a second copy of Just Cause, and it's a second copy that doesn't cost me a draw to get into hand. Because when I play the Just Cause, I just get another free copy of it as well. Let's re-roll here. Looking for something more useful. Oh my god. Yeah. Ancient Pinion. When an angel moves, it gains 2 Valor. Battle Dancer is an angel. I mean, Fel is also an angel, but I don't think you count as the angel type because you're a champion instead. Deepwood Oil, equipped units gain armor 10. Perfect. And the final is Trader's Quill. When a card with Consumer's Blade, deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit. I mean, it's good, it's just not as good as the other options we were given there. And then finally, the Empyrean Well Duplicate. Oh boy. This is difficult. I think maybe it's Soldier of Fortune. The intrinsic Just Cause also comes to mind. I'd not take the holdover one because I don't want... Well, do I? It causes a bunch of Valor gain constantly. Shifting my units is definitely the strongest thing I can do. I'm duplicating my Just Cause. We're doing it. That means out of the 5 cards I draw every turn, well, actually 6, thankfully, due to Limbo Solace, 2 of them are going to be the same card every time. And that's going to be great. Consistency is key. Kale, Lord of the Cherubs. Heaven's leader of the Cherubs has been manipulated by the Titan of Dominion. Now, even Heaven's workers are under the Titan's grasp. Nourishing Feed. Kale and his Cherubs gains 35 additional health and 4 spikes. Grant 35 additional health and 4 spikes to enemy units. Spikes, of course, meaning when you attack a unit with the spikes, you take damage equal to their spikes. So we need to prevent the Cherubs from buffing. Firebrand, Steady Crusader. Oh, this one's a bop. Battle Dancer in the back line. We've already got Fel here with 37 Valor, gaining 37 armor at the end of this turn, already dealing 78 damage, sorry. That's the power of permanent increases. Oh, good lord, Soldier of Fortune is here. Well, I mean, that's absolutely the first thing I care about. We should also look at these characters down here. We got the Blightbound Guardian. On strike, they apply 3 corruption. Corruption causes a unit to take 1 damage per stack at the end of the turn, but the stacks remain across turns, so it doesn't decrease like a poison DOT might. Misshapen Fiend. On extinguish, which triggers on the unit's death, apply 3 corruption to our front unit. There's another one of them as well. And then finally, the Nourishing Cherub, which has the Eaten ability. After the next round of combat, this unit will be eaten by the front unit that doesn't have an Eaten ability. And to that unit, it will grant the 35 health and the 4 spikes. Also, when the unit is eaten, it will take 10 damage, so it can be eaten 3 times. Cool. Well, first things first, let's see what the Soldier of Fortune is going to bring into our lives. Oh. Oh, right. I forgot that I was going to be duping that twice. Actually, though, that might be sick. Let's get this Shield Steward on this line. And then next Soldier of Fortune gives us the Wealthy Well. And oh my god, another... Oh my god, we've got too many soldiers. Unfortunately, my 0 cost is in my hand, so I'm actually not going to be able to play all of these effectively. Wealthy Well. Ability, Moneymaker, giving... That doesn't give Avarice. But you do have Avarice. Also, I'll immediately use you to gain 42 gold. Thank you kindly. Unfortunately, this soldier... Well, I can play this Soldier of Fortune. We'll draw the card. We'll buff the card. I just won't be able to play it. Yikes. Also, Kale is going to be attacking for 22 to our front unit this turn, which, that'll kill Fel, so I have to give you the Bone Dog. I'm so sorry. If it could be any other way, it would. But now that Fel has had a turn to actually be able to gain their armor, we'll be fine. Excellent. Shield of Wind should absolutely be used on this line this turn. Now all of these units are just taking damage when they attack, causing me to be able to clear them all very easily. Flicker on this bottom line seems great as well, getting rid of the Profane Supplicant. I could even use, and I will. Before I do any of this, I'll use Just Cause, so that I get that duped. Then, Firestarter on you, Flicker, clears the line, and we're good. I need to make sure that all of my units on this bottom line attack, because 2 of them have Avarice, so it's 15 gold every time they attack. Okay, Golden Touch, but unfortunately I can't use it. Well, I can. Oh, and I should. Alright. Just Cause. Just Cause. Just Cause. A Windblade, and... Oh, boy. Oh, if I could have played the Steward, unfortunately I don't have any space for it, but if I could have played you, I would have triggered the Versatile Emberstaff. I would like to undo that, because we're about to have the Nourishing Cherub give spikes to Kale, which I gotta hit 2,200 points of health off of that guy. That's a dangerous unit to have spikes. Unfortunately, though, that is what I did, so... Whoops. Thankfully, both of our top-line units here have shield via their Valor, so we're all good up here. Got to hit Moneymaker for another 49. What spell do I want to dupe here? I think it should just be... the permanent movement again. I feel kind of compelled to drop Sanctuary just because it's very expensive and I otherwise don't have any opportunities to do it, but realistically, Dragon's Breath and Flicker on the bottom line is significantly better for us. Oh boy, we're gonna be losing the Steadfast Angel. There you go, do 30 more damage to the enemy before that happens. Cleave will easily clear this bottom line as well, gotta love that. But before it's dodging time! So that's 5 Valor to the Battle Dancer every time this move happens. And 1 permanent Valor to Fel every single time. Alright, I feel like we're very much running away with this at this point. Woo! Because this first run can get icy. Couple more just causes to get us in position. Thank you kindly. This one... Dragon's Breath, please. You know what, Firebrand? Time for you to full heal. Oh, yes. So much Valor! And it's all free! This is why I really like Draw. It's... I mean, it really depends on the game that you're playing, but a lot of the time it's easier to nullify the costs of things than it is to nullify... or rather, to ignore the costs of things than it is to ignore card draw. I mean, Cleave for 200 damage on the top line. Realistically, I'm much better served by just 2 rotations there. Ooh, final wave. Golden Touch that I unfortunately can't use to kill an enemy right now? Yep. Oh well. Gain another 49 quickly. I mean, the Spear Steward going there, and then Discordant Toll. The next card I play is also going to trigger Versatile Ember Staff. So we get to draw another card, as well as gain another Ember. Flicker doesn't do enough damage to really set up the Golden Touch in a useful way. May as well use it for a little extra damage, though. Yeah, so Kale's gonna have a decent amount of... Well, I said a decent amount. No, you don't. You kill both of those units in the first line, so you only have 4 spikes now. Yeah. We can take him out with only 4 spikes. Come up here if you got something to say about it, Kale. Exactly. Couple more swaps and we are out of here. Victory. 200 gold. Oh, we took no damage to the pie the entire time as well. A rare pack, major enhancement, and we get to look at our dragon sword one more time. Pyroclasm. Attuned explosive. Deal 150 damage. Attuned multiplies the effect of magic power by 5. So if we increase this damage, if we increase its magic power by 10, it would get 50 additional damage. And explosive. All excess damage is applied to each enemy unit. So if you target a unit with this that has 1 health, it will then deal 149 damage to each other enemy unit. Sanctuary and Blood-Soaked Arena. Blood-Soaked Arena, friendly units gain 6 Valor on Slay. Feels like it's Pyroclasm or nothing here, and I really don't think I need Pyroclasm. Sanctuary for safety, but realistically, no. Give me money. Hell's Flame, Limbo Solace, and Heaven's Light. Look. Look! You don't understand. Draw is so powerful. Merchant of Steel? Ooh, over here we have a Merchant of Arms as well as an Armory to gain an equipment or room card, as well as the ability to upgrade equipments and room cards, or rather improve them. I do think I still need the Merchant of Steel though. The Battle Dancer and Steadfast Crusader haul out. They cry out for the goodness of man and something else. I can't remember the rest of that speech. I remember a lot of it. I don't want to be an emperor. I don't want to rule or conquer anybody. I should like to help everyone if possible. Forgotten Boons, 150. We've also got the ability to upgrade our champion. I could upgrade the champion to gain 4 additional health and 7 additional damage with Unchained 2, or I could go Vanguardian, which increases the amount of valor that we gain on revenge. I mean, seems the only reasonable choice there. Merchant of Steel, Celestial Alcove. Give me the Merchant of Steel. Upgrade a card to gain Dualism. Doubles the stacks of armor and buff and debuff statuses applied by this unit. Oh. Oh. You mean the Battle Dancer can shift to gain 6 Valor and then another 2 because of the Angel's Pinion? Ancient Pinion, rather? That seems pretty good to me. Also, I'll pop a Heartstone on the Steadfast Crusader. Dualism for the Battle Dancer. Smidgestone. Reduce size to 1. I don't really think I need to use that. I have a lot of money, though, is the thing, and I should probably just spend it all. Merchant of Trinkets is available no matter what side I go next round. I should definitely reroll here to see new options as well. Greedstone, upgrade a unit with Avarice 3. I don't really need Avarice 3 at this point. Do I want any of my units to be small? I guess, yeah, on the Shield Steward, just so I can put him in line with 2 other Spear Stewards if I need. Then reroll. Upgrade a unit with Quick and 10 additional damage. Do I have any of these units that want to attack before the enemies? Realistically, no. Upgrade a unit with Endless. When a unit is died or is eaten, return it to the top of the draw pile. No. Upgrade a unit with 14 additional damage from the Strength Stone. I mean, realistically, you just pop this on one of the Spear Stewards and go. Upgrade a unit with Valor 8. I mean, I could give that to the Battle Dancer, and then the Battle Dancer gets Valor 16 out of it. But also, that's really nothing. That's like 2 turns. Actually, it's more like 1 turn of just using Just Cause while the Battle Dancer is on field. That said, empty slots aren't worth anything at the end of the game. You know what? I'm going to give this to the Shield Steward so that it has some replenishing armor. I'm going to leave here. Celestial Alcove, what do you got? A cluster of 3 large crystals containing Entropy's strange powers forces the train to stop. You could take one of them to investigate. The first crystal is extraordinarily heavy for its size. The second crystal is completely weightless and hollow. The third crystal is growing at an incredible pace. Do you take one of Entropy's crystals? Noting that we only have 2 fights left, we have... take the heavy crystal. Gain the Entropic Stone upgrade. Upgrade a spell to gain triple stack. However many stacks it would have applied, it now provides 3 times that. Oh. Soldier of Fortune with triple stack. Just saying. Also, take the Growing Crystal. Gives a spell Permafrost, which means at the end of every turn it'll be staying in your hand. And when you keep it in your hand at end of turn, permanently gain 5 magic power. Cool. I don't think I've got enough time to really take huge advantage of that. And the Hollow Crystal. Upgrade a spell to cost -4. Well, I know what spell that would have been if I took the the Pyroclasm. The Pyrotastic Cataclysm. I'm definitely going to take the Heavy Crystal. And upgrade Soldier of Fortune to give 45 Avarice and 45 armor. Oh boy. You stow the Heavy Crystal away. Before you have a chance to put it down, a portion of the crystal spreads onto you. You try prying it apart, but to no avail. Entropy is now a part of you. Buddy, I'm a living thing. Entropy's always been a part of me. Let's head into battle. Second last battle of the run. Savagery's final assault. These foes will attempt to clear your floors and attempt an assault on your pyre directly. Pyre Dampener gives us -1 energy per turn for a reward of 400 additional gold. Right now, I'm going to tell you, I don't need additional gold. I'm going to avoid this. I'm specifically avoiding it, by the way, because I really want to be able to play 3 units affected by Soldier of Fortune at the same time. So, Fel, top line, Firebrand, bottom line, Steadfast Crusader, mid line, Battle Dancer, behind Fel on top line. Done. Show me Soldier of Fortune. There's the Avowed Gladiator with 8 damage and 375 health, giant wall that we have to push through in order to then get to the Ragewing Assassin, who has 6 damage and 5 health, but sweeps. When they attack all enemy units at the same time. Oh boy. So in my deck, I have 5 units. Soldier of Fortune is going to be really, really weird. I drew all of my units early. First off, let's pop these Just Cause on the top line. I don't want to play any of my units this turn if I can avoid it. And I can. Oh, I can absolutely make sure that's the case. Golden Touch takes out that Ragewing for us very handily. And I'm intentionally not going to play another card here. The Terrifying Amalgam has a resolve, which triggers after combat. If we have no units on the floor, it'll deal 5 damage to the pyre. Thankfully, we have healthy units constantly, so we'll be fine. Shield of Whinge on the Steadfast Angel is 100% the way we're going to go. Couple of Just Causes up here. I should probably get rid of this Fire Starter. Take out the Ragewing Assassin. And I'm pretty sure at this point our top line is well equipped to take care of these very, very healthy enemies. There's Soldier of Fortune. 5 cards left in the deck. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted. So Soldier of Fortune is going to give me a copy of Soldier of Fortune. I'm going to have to play Windblade first, actually. It's going to give me a copy of Soldier of Fortune, as well as a Soldier of Fortune card. So this one still has spell change and this one doesn't. This one I'll cast next. Okay, I really want one of these final two to give me... actually, hang on, just look at that top line quickly. I really want one of these final two to give me... Damn it! The Bone Dog, because the Bone Dog is 0 cost, so I would be able to actually play it this... No! That's literally all four of my non-Bone Dog minions are the 4 that I managed to hit. Which... That's weird. Soldier of Fortune said there were 5 cards it could have drawn. So I assumed it could have drawn the Bone card. But it doesn't look like it could have here. That's okay. What are we doing with this bottom line? Oh, I played a different type of card. Now I've got the Entropic Crystal. Reserve. Spells in your deck cost +1 if I let that resolve. Unfortunately, I am going to have to remove that. Which does mean ceasing to play all of our powerful cards right now, but it's okay. They'll be back. I'm so glad you have 45 armor so you don't have anything to worry about from these Ragewing Assassins. Ooh, we've got the full 8 Dragon Sword as well. We're prepared. Time for all of the swaps. Great. Flicker for that line. Saves us from taking any damage. Ooh, I probably should have used Slam on that line. That is to say, the middle with the Steadfast Crusader. It's probably not going to be essential. Ooh, it's going to cause me to take some damage to the Terrifying Amalgam, apparently. Really want to use Golden Touch, but it doesn't give me anything right now. I'm afraid I'm already full up, friend. I mean, Cleave on this top line really makes sense right now. I'm gonna do it. Prevent any damage to our Pyre by dealing 135 damage to both of the enemies. Excellent. A brief respite here. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to play the Entropic Crystals again, but that's okay. Then Bone Dog on the top line, please. 2 different types of card. Now when I play a spell, I'm gonna gain an energy and draw. Spear Steward doesn't have anywhere it can be played right now. Dang. Use a Fire Starter to take care of one of the Terrifying Amalgam. Firebrand, you may as well heal right now, despite the fact that it doesn't really change anything. In fact, ideally, our bottom line dies. I want the battle to go as long as possible, but then them to lose. Which... it doesn't look like the battle's going as long as I want right now. Rax the Overblessed. Triggers after combat. Gain 8 Rage, 20 Regen, and Spell Shield 2. Whoa. You already have Spell Shield 2, as well as 8 Rage and 20 Regen, so it's like it already happened. 56 more gold from the... Well, yeah, we've got so much money. I'm so glad we didn't try and get another 400 in this fight that we wouldn't have needed. Let's do this. Well, just cause. Seems like a good thing to do, and then Flicker on the bottom line gives us a lot longer of a battle down here, ideally. So we're 1030 before this relentless phase starts. Let's see how far it gets us. Okay, so we got 270 from that round. Have to play the Entropic Crystals. No two ways around that. Suppose I can throw Organ Harvester there. Just cause a whole mess of times on the top line. Throw out a Flicker to remove a Spell Shield. And, ooh! The ability was also blocked by Spell Shield. Spell Shield nullifies the next damage from a spell or ability. Interesting. Oh, you've got Multi-Strike. That's a real bummer, buddy. That said, despite having Multi-Strike, you don't really have that much health. Yeah, and it shows. $324 stacks of Valor on the Battle Dancer. We've got 270 armor before the fight starts, and we're going to lose 276 health. Perfect. Another 75 gold, kind of pales in comparison to everything we've got so far. Lead Songbird. Valor on friendly units adds an additional damage per stack. There's also Everlasting Light and Liquid Courage. 1 Ember to consume applies damage shield 1 and Valor 4 on a unit. I'm going to take the Lead Songbird, absolutely. Wealthy Whelp for Moneymaker, I don't need any more money. Greed for Moneymaker, I don't need any more money. Dragon's Breath for dealing damage to all enemy units, I don't need any more money. So I'll take money. I also don't need more AoE damage for enemy units at the moment. Yep, we'll be looting this now so I can get 1 of 3 artifacts. After using an ability, friendly units gain 3 armor. Increase max Dragon Horde by 2. Flaming Talons, when an enemy unit ascends, they gain Pyogel 2. Sure. They ascend once every turn. Vola's Tuning Fork. Starter cards cost -1. That's kind of funny. So that means all of my stewards are going to cost 0. That's going to be really useful for us. Obviously, all the just causes as well. Manifold Mirror, the first Room Card Blade. Each battle is applied to all floors. I don't have that. And Trained Stewards gain the Boom ability from the Unstable Pyre Sparks over here. Boom is cooldown of 2 to sacrifice, killing the friendly unit in order to deal 50 damage to the front enemy. Vola's Tuning Fork, absolutely. Boy. I think Merchant of Arms really seems appropriate here. Give me the Forgotten Boons. Let's have a look at the trinkets. When you equip an angel, gain 3 Valor, 3 Rage, and 3 Regen. No reason not to do that. With the amount of money I have, I can buy out this shop twice. Hellheart. Apply Pyogel 10 to non-flying boss units that enter the room below the Pyre room. Perfect. Attuned Whetstone. On deployment phase, draw an equipment card from your deck and reduce its cost to 0. That's how I'm going to get my Shift Blade up. It's Wind Blade, right? Yeah, Wind Blade. Just causes shift interactions. Oh, this is so cool. Jack Strips. Deal 3 piercing damage whenever an enemy unit moves between floors. So when it moves between floors, which is ascending, by the way, they gain 2 Pyogel, and then they take 5 piercing damage because of the Jack Strips. When they get to the final floor, they have they have 14 Pyogel And so they take 17 piercing damage just for getting to the top floor. It's also Titan's Edict. Valor grants an additional armor per stack. Insane. And higher stone housing. Units get an extra upgrade slot. I actually don't have the ability to upgrade my units again, so that's irrelevant. Thank you. Merchant of Arms, however. Hell Furnace. When a unit gains Biogel, it gains 3 additional stacks. Not really relevant. Fight Club grants friendly units 15 additional damage. Also not really relevant. Everlasting Light applies Valor 2 to friendly units. Oh, I mean, you know what? I'm going to buy that, and I'm going to combine Everlasting Light and the Windblade so that Fel can trigger 4 Valor to friendly units every time they attack. So Windblade and Everlasting Light put together. Oh, and its cost is 0. Well, actually, hang on. I'm not going to merge it yet. Because it makes the cost of the merged equipment 0. Oh, no, hang on. It draws a random one. I don't even know what it's going to draw. That's fine. I'm going to reroll first. Stoic Plate Mail. Silence disables triggers and abilities. Oof. Damage dealt to armor before health. Each point of armor blocks 1 point of damage and then removed. Hall of Mirrors. -2 capacity. Create copies of friendly units on summon. Oh, that's interesting. Because I kind of want to do that. Do I have... No, I don't have the ability to make that 0 cost in the opening hand. Okay, I'm not going to do it. Steward's Quarters, 1 additional... Actually, 1 additional capacity. That might be all it says for all I care. 0 cost to get 1 additional capacity on one of the floors. Also, trained stewards gain multi-strike 1 and 20 damage. But if I take that and then I put it in my opening hand, I'm going to combine the Everlasting Light and the Windblade as I said I would. Remove cards from deck. It's time to get rid of the Golden Touch. And Dragon's Breath. Honestly, I'm kind of down with getting rid of Sanctuary, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave that one there for a moment. Merchant of Trinkets, we already bought out all of your stuff. Yes. Empyrean Well, the ability to duplicate an item. I mean, another merged equipment for our other angel. Honestly, not bad. You know what? I think so. And let's head to the final fight. Seraph Eternus, Chosen of Savagery. Unrecognizable from his original form, Seraph is returned as a puppet of the Titans from beyond the abyss. Seraph's savage form will weaken the defenses of your units and enrage his own. Champion of Savagery! Seraph enchants enemy units with Rage 3, and our units enter with Melee Weakness 1, which means the first time that they're attacked, they take as much damage again, so double damage, for the first time they're attacked. So I need my frontline units to be big. I need my frontline units to be beefy. Oh! Tooltips are back! You've drawn a rune card. These cards are installed onto a floor in the train. Their gameplay effect persists until the end of battle. Only one rune effect can be installed in the floor at the same time. Alrighty then. I mean, we know what we do with Fel. We just know what we do with Fel. There's your merged equipment, by the way. 10 armor, but just merging that equipment in the first place. Firebrand, Steadfast, and I think Bottom Line. You now have an additional capacity down here, so I'm hoping to put down more of the Soldier of Fortune hits. Speaking of Soldier of Fortune hits, do I get it in the opening hand? No. Damn. That's okay. I gotta get rid of the Entropic Crystal. I can't allow spells in my deck to cost an additional energy for this whole fight. That's too much, actually. If I play a Train Steward, which I realistically should, it'll come out with 8 Valor. It will also get Multi-Strike and 20 additional damage. Flicker could help take out this bottom line as well. Pretty useful. But that's not the spell I wanted to use. So... Ah. Yes. Right. Right. Just realized a big problem. This bad boy's gonna kill the Battle Dancer. That's not good. And I can't do anything about it. That's okay. What else do I do then? You cop that. We're gonna get so much armor on Fel, it's gonna be so nutty. Fel's gonna be good on that top line by themselves for a bit at least. As soon as I get Soldier of Fortune, we're going to the races, though. The enemy has a Harpist Protector, who is enchanting all units on the floor with Titan Skin 5, which reduces 5 damage from every instance of damage. There's the Soldier of Fortune. Unfortunately, I have 2 of my units in hand, so I can't draw those, and they're both Spear Stewards, which I really wanted. Alas. Soldier of Fortune gives me Bone Dog, as well as 2 more Soldiers of Fortune. I mean, Bone Dog obviously goes on the bottom line. Another Soldier of Fortune brings us the lead Songbird. Valor gives 1 additional damage per stack. Obviously pop that on the top line with Fel. There's the Wealthy Whelp as well. I'll throw you on the bottom line. Give me 0 gold immediately. Soldier of Fortune is gonna exhaust anyway. With a unit on the top line, I now have the ability to move you. Oh, one of these units on this floor should have been a Spear Steward. My bad. Firebrand, you really don't need to heal just yet, buddy. Alright, Seraph, come up to the top line. It's time for your punishment. Shield of Winch obviously goes on the Steadfast Crusader here. Vex. Most important thing is going to be just continuing the Valor train up here. Ooh, we actually have a turn where we need to heal here. Well, I say need. Want. A turn where we want to heal on that floor. Oh, yes. Thank you for coming to the top floor. It's exactly where I want you. We're ready for you whenever you want to come up here, Seraph. Anytime you decide you want to fight me. Got 3 more waves remaining from this coward. Oh, unpurgeable entropic crystal. I have to play you every turn, but also it's because of that entropic crystal that we have... Wait, which is it? Oh, the triple stack. Oh my god, yes, that's definitely worth it. Flicker will eventually be played on that bottom line. I don't need to hasten my way towards that. It'll just happen. I put the lead Songbird in front so that it takes this hit, losing its melee weakness, and also gains as much armor as possible, so it'll be a much tankier backline unit for us. It looks like the Shield Steward's going to die this turn, so I'll probably end up... Oh, never mind, that's not going to happen. Okay, Spear Steward, you can also go on this top floor now. And we got another Just Cause, which I will actually use on a different floor, so that that Songbird still gets the benefit I was talking about. Getting rid of that melee weakness before Seraph is the one hitting us, pretty important. We can see from the battle dancer that's no longer with us. No! Here, boy. All right, we're going to be losing our midline, it looks like. That's fine. That's fine. That's not really going to change anything. It's very much this top line that's the potent one. Good lord. Oh, fella's so powerful. Oh, welcome, buddy. Can I have Cleave? No? Dang. Cleave would have been a really good draw there. Give me the ability to effectively attack directly to the back line. I suppose I'll drop Flicker on the top line just in case it hits a good break point on these enemies and allows me to do more damage. I should have known that wasn't going to be the case though, because our first 2 hits we're just going to eviscerate the first 2 enemies easily. We're doing 500 damage per strike now with Fel. And we still get to strike twice. Alright. Archon is ready for the relentless phase. And so am I. I'm gonna drop some merged equipment on the Warbler here, so that it gets a little bit more benefit out of all of these shifts that I'm gonna do. All right. Oh, unfortunately, because we don't have a unit here on the middle line, we will be taking 5 higher damage to each of these amalgams. Ooh. All right. Well done, Sarah. Oh, good. We do have enough damage to push down the entire top line. Organ Harvester on the back line is actually important here. Not only does it give it 10 armor, but also that will be our third card type played after we play a spell. Come and have some, Seraph. Oh, no. Oh, I'm gonna let this enemy attack me twice? Actually, you know what? I am not going to allow this enemy to deal any damage to this line. Out of pure stubbornness. Sanctuary. Your turn. And thanks to the triple stacked Avarice, we end that fight despite having bought everything that was relevant in the final spaces for us with 1,745 gold. On to the Great Abyss! And that's a victory. Very nice to get the victory on the very first run here, despite, again, not being able to start with additional benefits, because now we will also be able to unlock as many things as possible before our next run. With the Banished leveled up, we've got a 2-cost card called Eagle Heart. It consumes to advance a unit and then apply 5 Valor to a friendly unit. Then it attacks immediately. And also the artifact, the Sky Song Trumpet. Summoning a Hymnist applies 5 Valor to friendly units. Hymnists were, like the Warbler, I think, was a Hymnist. I'll check that in a second. Another Banished level up gives us 1 energy for Rising Rage. Ascend, then advance, moving a unit up a floor. And Martyr's Signet. At the end of the entire battle, friendly units at the front of the floor permanently gain 6 health. Ooh. That's pretty powerful. Especially for champions. Pyreborn's first level up gives us Guildmonger, 1 energy for a 2-size unit that has the Extinguish ability gain 1 Dragon Horde. Also 10 damage and 30 health. Oh, but it's Extinguish. So this unit has to die to gain that. Interesting. And then Attuned Manacle. Summoning a Whelp reduces the reduces the cooldown of friendly unit by 1. No! We didn't get a second level up. Oh my god. Wanderer and Rito already up at Covenant 3. I gotta make my way there. Obviously, Justice Tom and Demo Exp. All the way up at maximum victory already. Of course. We've got the Lunar Coven, the Underleague, and Lazarus League. Still to go. Actually, still to be unlocked. Lunar Coven will be unlocked when I defeat enough enemies with spells, 6 more enemies. Underlegion when I consume enough cards, and Lazarus League when I have attached enough equipment. In this run, do I get to see what cards I had in this run? I'm certain there is a way to do so. Is it from here? Standard run, I don't know what to hover over in order to see the cards. Never mind, we're heading back to the outpost.
Commander, the initial battalion has finished unloading the train. The reserves are awaiting your command for the next assault.
Very well. Send word to the Pyreborn. We will depart again soon. I'll join you shortly.
Yes, Commander!
Angels attacking heaven. I could never have imagined it would come to this. Not too long ago, I led these same troops to destroy hell.
Charge! For heaven! For Seraph!
When we invaded hell, we fought for Seraph. But now, we fight for our own survival. Seraph, my brother, our leader. I followed him without question, but I saw too late the costs of my blind faith. Since the invasion failed, Seraph began to change. The taste of defeat enticed him to seek greater power from titans beyond our world. Until he got what he was looking for. The titans came to hell and began corrupting everything. And now they threaten our whole world. Our only hope of stopping them is to reforge the old covenant, an alliance between angels and demons. My legions of angel came to hell to fulfill a covenant we once fought to destroy, and to reclaim our former home. But old grudges remain. I have to believe this alliance can work, for our own sake. Unlock more Pyre Hearts to progress the story, and the unlock criteria can be viewed from the departure station when starting a standard run. We're going to use that as a way to orient our primary goal each run, so that we can go along the storyline as well as unlock as many things as quickly as we possibly can. All that said, that's going to have to happen in the future. Until then, my name has been Rhapsody. The name of the game has been Monster Train 2. Top left is a series playlist for all my content on the game, present and future. YouTube recommendation down below. YouTube's recommendation is down below that, rather. Streaming past are the names of people so generously supporting RepublicCompatron.com/RhapsodyPlays. A special thanks to this episode to Cold Heart. Hopefully you'll enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you next time.